Sprise. Hi fellow dog fanciers, welcome back to a new episode on the life and adventures of Eris, the Whippet pup. Today I will tell you and also show you, of course, how life with a puppy changed our 7 Whippets, and especially the younger part of the pack, that is Ivy, Jamie and Ruby. But before that, if you're new here, I'm Adriana, Adi for short. I've had Whippets for 15 years and I'm currently owned by 8 of them, so I make breed-specific videos as well as some others on dog and animal related topics. If you enjoy this type of content and you want to learn more about the breed and you also want to know that you're not alone in your love for Whippets, subscribe and join our growing Whippet family. And before I get right into today's topic, tell me about your most recent dog. Was owning them as you planned, or did they surprise you in any way? Tell us in the comments. I'd like to start today's video by answering a question that was asked a few videos back. I promised I will answer it in a future video, and I think that's kind of vibing with today's topic, so here we go. First, the question, of course. What did you see in her besides her smashing good looks that compelled you to bring her into your fold when you weren't even looking? I've watched that first video, but I'm curious what you think about that instinct you had then compared to how she turned out to be. Has she surprised you in any way? If you haven't yet, I'd recommend you watch the first video on Eris, and then all of this will make sense. There are events in life that, for better or worse, depending on their nature, are just meant to happen, and sometimes you don't get to know the reason until quite a while later. From the moment I saw Eris's first photos, I knew that there was something very special about her. Coming across pictures of a tiny Whippet puppy and wanting to have it more than anything else has only happened twice in my life. That was with Lacey 13 years ago and now with Eris. Of course, she had extraordinary conformation, but there was something more to her, which to this day I can't really explain. Coming across her photos right then and there were like the feeling of being in the right place at the right time, because if you weren't, you would have missed something great. While discussing the possibility of bringing her home, we were very stressed, mainly due to the habits of our other Whippets and the time it takes some of them to get along with new dogs. It's one thing to have a dog or two and bring another one home, and completely different to have a pack of 7 dogs with different habits and relationships and introduce a brand new puppy. Here, that's your child now. But in reality, things could not have gone smoother. In terms of her conformation, she fulfilled all of my expectations, but when it comes to her temperament, she surprised us in every way. We were prepared for the typical wild, full of energy, challenging, naughty, all over the place Whippet puppy that acts first and asks questions later, and one that will take a few months perhaps to grow out of the crazy puppy stage and become a full member of our Whippet pack. What we got was a laid-back, sensible puppy that carefully observed all other dogs' behaviors and adjusted to everyone's rules and temperaments. All she cares about is to have fun, love and be loved. Don't get me wrong, she can be crazy sometimes. If she wants to be, she breaks all of the records on craziness. But she found a way to get under our dog's skin very sneakily. She had her individual approach with every single one of our Whippets, and she was almost like a wise therapy dog on a mission to become everyone's friend. I also got my very own 24/7 Velcro dog, and that's a surprise because the majority of our Whippets are stuck to my mom. But with Eris, it's like the universe adjusted her settings as per my love and strong desire to have her from the second I laid my eyes on her. And I have a very strong bond with this dog. And thinking of the events in the past 1 year, some of which were unfortunate to me, it seems like everything happened to prepare us for her. We weren't looking for a puppy, she wasn't planned, but she was meant to be in every way, and she exceeded all of our expectations. Now let's talk about how she changed our other whippets. Before we brought her home, I was convinced Brady would love her, and that was the case from the day she walked in this house and still is today. Skylar and Cooper needed a bit more time to trust her, but in a few weeks things evolved from this "don't get near me" type of behavior to "you are family now." Grandma Lacey doesn't mind new dogs as long as they don't bother her too much. If they do, she is happy to go in another room. The real challenge was with Ivy, Jamie, and Ruby. Ivy found her best friend the moment we brought Puppy home. They wrestle, play together, and Ivy offers her ear cleaning services to Eris anytime. Sometimes Eris would just like to sleep, and that's very dramatic for Ivy because she seeks attention from her little sister, like she did here. Jamie takes a long time to trust a new dog, but we never thought she would get to love Eris as much as she does, and that she would build so much impulse control and trust thanks to her. She loves their game of tag and actively looks for her to invite her to play, and Eris seems to be very understanding of Jamie and doesn't do anything around her that would push her buttons. And when it comes to Ruby, a true miracle happened. Ruby is the kind of a B dog that doesn't tolerate anything from another dog that's unacceptable according to the weird criteria and rules she has built. She also preferred not to share her toys with anyone, sometimes with her sisters perhaps, but games between them often escalate to challenges to find out who's stronger, better, and smarter. For the first few weeks of Eris living here, Ruby ignored her and didn't want anything to do with her, and was probably wondering when we'll send her back. But they started to spend more and more time together. Puppy showed her that she means no harm and that she's not here to ruin the established pack dynamics, and Ruby was more open to the possibility that this child is not a bad one. And slowly but surely she managed to earn all of Ruby's trust. What you see here, Ruby hasn't done with any other dog, probably since she and her sisters were puppy's age, and I couldn't believe my eyes, so I tried my best to film all of it. I can conclude that we were a bit afraid of the pack taking forever to accept the new puppy, and that perhaps Eris would somehow create tension or shake up the order in the pack in a negative way. But we got a fantastic smart puppy that found a way to peacefully sneak in, find her place in her new family while becoming everyone's friend along the way. And she has made all of them so much more careful, patient, and positive, and also united towards the goal to love and raise their new little puppy and teach her how to whip it properly. But let's also not forget that Eris fitting in completely took around 7 weeks, which was a slow process and required a lot of effort on our end as well, along with a well calculated strategic plan on how and when to shorten the distance between her and the other dogs. I know it seems like the episodes about Eris are over now because this sounds like a happy ending to a very long story, but that's not the case and we still have a lot to talk about. By the time this video is posted, we'll be on our way to a show quite far away, so I think this time I will make a more detailed video. I will document more things to take you along with me. I think that's enough for today's video. Have a lovely weekend and a fantastic week afterwards, and I will see you next Friday with a new one. Bye bye!